A lot of people think that I earn a lot of money. I've heard people speculate and they'll be like, oh, you must earn $10,000 a month. I don't know where they get this number from, but they don't really understand all the work that goes behind it. I guess I consider myself an Instagram baker, so it's still relatively quite new and most people don't really understand how I can live off the money I make doing this full time. Hi, my name is Adeline. I'm Dee Bakes on Instagram and I'm a full-time home baker. So when the pandemic hit, there were a lot of news articles that were featuring home businesses. So I was quite lucky to be featured in a few, and I think that really helped me to gain a lot of traction on Instagram as well as getting more customers. I would put up about 20 slots a day and it would sell out within minutes, sometimes less, depending on the day. So it was quite crazy, going from baking maybe 1 or 2 boxes a day to 20 boxes a day. It was quite a big jump for me. So it was also around that time where I started my TikTok account. One of my friends encouraged me to start posting my own videos. So I began by posting videos of my cakes and things that I was cooking at home, and from there it was just a few random videos went viral, and that's when I started getting a following on TikTok. I also do some sponsored content on TikTok. I like to focus on that as well because usually the followers that I get from TikTok translates into customers on Instagram. So every month, the amount I make really depends on the customer flow. So it varies between $3,000 to $5,000 a month. So from the profits I make, a bulk of it goes back to my business, so maybe about $1,000 to $2,000 depending on the month. So I usually have to stock up on baking supplies and different tools. Sometimes things spoil or break down. So for example, my oven has broken down a few times, so I need to replace that. I'm quite conservative when it comes to spending money. I think that pre-pandemic I used to spend a lot more on social gatherings and clothes, but because I now bake from home and my schedule usually doesn't really line up with my other friends who are working because I usually work more on the weekends and they work on the weekdays. I come from a family of foodies, so a lot of people in my family and my relatives, a lot of them cook or bake. So I've always grown up around food and have always been interested in it. One of my first memories of baking was probably when I was in secondary school. My sister would bake things to bring to school to give her friends, and I would copy her and follow along. When I started uni, I was still baking but not as often. I did earn money, but it was still a hobby at that time, so whatever money I had was just a bonus. It wasn't my main source of income at that time, yeah. So one of my 2022 goals was to actually find more time to rest because I found that in the past few years it was very hard to achieve a good work-life balance, but I still find that a struggle, to be honest. It's very hard for me to say no to customers because I'm not in a position where I'm financially comfortable turning down people's orders. So I do basically everything myself. It begins with me having to get all my supplies and ingredients. I have to promote the things that I'm baking, do up all the graphics and liaise with the customers, get the payment, and then from there I have to liaise with the couriers for the delivery service. I have to fold the boxes, I have to bake the cakes, I have to decorate the cakes. There are a lot of other home bakers on Instagram, so I do feel some pressure to have to post on my Instagram every day to keep my audience engaged and also expand my customer base. So I think currently I see myself continuing to bake for the foreseeable future at least. But at the same time, I'm not opposed to trying out a different career. I feel like baking is what I want to do and maybe I'll expand my business in the future. But at the same time, it's not really something that's set in stone for me, and I'm of course keeping my mind open to other opportunities that may come.